All right, what's up, everybody? Monday afternoon coming at you hot from the Breakdown Sports on our Twitter handle at BRKDWN_sports. Check out our website at thebreakdownsports.com. This is Line Breakers FC. For today's episode, we're strictly focusing on the Champions League. We'll recap a little bit what we saw across Europe, but with matches, these teams are just dying, waiting to play. We kind of saw it from some of their forms and some of how they played over the domestic weekend, but domestic weekend's out of here. Champions League with Joey B, with AJ. How you guys doing today?
Good. Joey B, welcome back. How does it feel to be back?
I've missed it. I've missed it a ton. So as you can tell by the excitement in my voice, I'm thrilled to be back here with you guys. And I gave some two winners and I guess 1.5 winners and a loser over the weekend. So hopefully I can keep the hot streak going. As hit a good groove here the last 2 months. So looking to keep it going.
Yes, sir. So wherever you are, hope you're staying warm and safe. This weather's been fucking wild, which kept Joey B out. But let's talk some footy since we got some good matchups. From biggest takeaways from last week's Champions League slate. I mean, Liverpool looked to figure it out, then dropped it against Everton. I think the craziest thing I saw from that match was Liverpool won the pressing battle there, and essentially Leipzig's 2 mistakes cost them the 2 goals. Cost AJ and I our bets this past midweek. But, I mean, Liverpool weren't ultra convincing, and that kind of skewed the line for this past midweek for the Merseyside derby. So I think if you had an Everton ticket, that's a nice one for you. But, I mean, I think Liverpool kind of put that match down and done with it. Leipzig, we've seen them come back crazy before, but, I mean, it's hard to say you have confidence in Liverpool coming up when they just gave that away against Everton.
Yeah, and you on the last stream, you were talking a lot about Everton, and you were kind of talking yourself into them. Did you ever play Everton?
Nope, I was out. Never ended up locking anything in on the Toffees.
Man, missed out big. But yeah, like you agreed, I thought their performance against Leipzig was decent, and they just dropped the ball against Everton. Joey B, any thoughts?
I was just shocked to see Leipzig not put up as much of a fight as I thought they would. But yeah, I think Liverpool, they may just be a better Champions League team at this point. Who knows? But they put themselves in a good position. But in terms of the other teams, it was interesting. All the teams, we had the teams on Tuesday had a tough time over the weekend with Barcelona and PSG both dropping points. We just mentioned Liverpool. Leipzig did get the win, but they pretty good convincing win, I think, over Hertha was who they played this weekend. And then the Wednesday teams kind of had the other way around, but they had a friendlier schedule. I know Dortmund beat Schalke, pretty easy rollover match. Rex won some money on that one too. And then the other 3 teams, Porto, Juve, and Sevilla, all played today, and they all won. So that those couple of days off definitely helped the trend there of getting back in the domestic games after the UCL fixtures.
Yeah, from the first midweek, I mean, I want to say most matches are basically dead and done with, but I love when teams make the crazy comebacks and goal differential. It's probably, even though being a contrarian, it's one of the hardest things I have to convince myself, but Sevilla Dortmund seems to be the only one there. I really hope Porto pulls that one out, but granted, for maybe Serie A wise, because Inter is top of the table by 4 points, just had to drop that in there. Maybe I want Juve to come back and win that one so they get more tired legs there. But quick off the bat, I know that's going to be a 2 Monday show when we're back because there's no Champions League next week. Off the hip, any team that you think can make the comeback?
Go for it.
Who wants to say Barcelona? Anyone? No one?
No.
one.
I mean, even though how not impressive Poch has been at PSG, I mean, I think Messi's just regretting it more in and more out, and he's just looking for a way out right there. And I think this early exit, very unconvincing La Liga run, I think the rumors actually do get some legitimacy and strong this summer.
Yeah, but I think for real, I think neither Porto, Juventus, Sevilla, Dortmund, are over. I think Juventus hard to rule out at any point. Sevilla's in a tougher spot, I think, for sure, especially since their defense didn't kind of show up to drop or to like shut down the Dortmund offense a little bit. But I think if you like long shot to win to advance Leipzig, I think even though they did kind of get shut down by Liverpool in the first leg, I think you've just seen the inconsistency in Liverpool, and I do think Leipzig's still a good team. They just maybe they don't want to win. Maybe they just want to crash out of the UCL and get back into Bundesliga, help them in the standings. But I think Leipzig may they have a better, I think, a decent chance to advance because 2-0 just to get to extra time. So I could see that happening. Obviously, a long shot, but I wouldn't be shocked to see them kind of make it past Liverpool.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Leipzig as well. I think Juve to advance are still favorite at -150. So books aren't putting any respect on Porto's name, which is, I guess, kind of fair. But yeah, Leipzig would be my long shot to advance.
Oh yeah, that Crotone drubbing that Juve gave them today is real, saying that they're coming for Porto. But get into this week's matches. We're gonna do some quick hitters on each. Then we have our best bet. So if we would bet on the side or the total, we'll just probably stick out of that one or just give the play that we're not, or talk about the play that we're not having. So we got to start it off with what I have to say is by far the fishiest line of all of it. It starts tomorrow. Lazio home +350. Bayern Munich, you can find them between like -130 to -135 on the money line. I mean, they lost to Frankfurt. Great win for Frankfurt. I think that's the second time where they've won them back to back. So they brought in a case of beer to celebrate. So that was pretty cool to see because it's not often that you get to take down Bayern and take them in back to back matches. Good for them. But I just think, I mean, they have the league wrapped up. So them dropping points means absolutely nothing there. I think they're focused on this Champions League. Lazio, I mean, I think this is a ratty line. It's worse than fishy because you can get them at -128, -134, the two lines that I have available to me. It's so hard just not to click that submit there just because, yes, Lazio has Immobile, they have Alberto, but Bayern's the top club in the world still. And we really think Lazio's defense is holding. That's where I think their team totals 2, and it's like a juice 2. And you can get their fair staff over at -150. I mean, I just don't see any way that Bayern doesn't put 3 up on this score sheet. It's probably going to be my bet regret is a Bayern team total or a Bayern money line, but it pains me to fade a Serie A side, but I see no possible way that Inzaghi gets this team to pull out a draw here.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Spot on. This line is absurd. I mean, a short -140 for the best team in the world. The public just sees Bayern, sees them in the Champions League, gonna hammer them. But I know Joey B and I both have a play on the total, so I'll save that for later.
Yeah, I mean, Rex, you did say Bayern has Bundesliga wrapped up. They only have a 2-point lead over Leipzig, but if you go to odds, they're like -700. So I guess you could say it's wrapped up closer in point total than actuality, I guess. But yeah, just it did shorten, but yeah, I mean, Bayern would have to really drop a ton of points, I think, to lose out on the title. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to back Bayern some way in this game. I did look like Bayern in both teams to score. I think it's like +185, pretty decent odds, I think. But I played it maybe a little safer. Maybe it doesn't matter. But yeah, like AJ said, I'm looking at the total. But yeah, I mean, it's a ratty line. With Champions League, I try to stay away from those. I got burned by a little bit by Real Madrid in the group stages. So I think picking, especially in the first leg, picking a winner side on any of this stuff is usually a tall task, I guess.
I just think it's so hard to keep up that level, that form that you have when you're Bayern, when you're just cruising in both of them. When you get to UCL back up, it's a good rejuvenation start for the team, especially since they drop points. I think that just brings out even more mojo. Capping motivation is impossible, so that's just all what makes your brain feel better when you're talking about the pick. I mean, you can get them the -0.75 at like -105 to -103 in some shops. That's where I would just go because you can get them even money basically to win you half cash if worse comes to worse.
Yeah, my only thought, like obviously they went to Qatar to play in that against Tigres in the Club World Cup, and I think they're still catching up a little bit from that, just based on some performances the last couple of weeks. But the first leg, part of me thinks like they could just get a 1-goal, like just not go all out. I guess essentially, like it is a 2-leg fixture. Maybe they're not playing it like being a little risky with it, but like maybe I don't know. I think the fact that this is a 2-leg fixture and this is leg one. A draw like would backing Bayern, the fact that they could draw and kind of still be alive and in a strong favorite is kind of scaring me off any sort of Bayern money line on this one.
All right, let's get into the next match of the day where, I mean, I want to say this one's a toss-up because I do have a play on the side here. The total, we got an over 2 in the Champions League, fellas. We got an over 2 -120, under 2 -110. Money lines is Atletico Madrid plus 170, Chelsea plus 190. You can get the pick with the juice towards Atletico Madrid. Madrid isn't home here because I believe this is in Bucharest because, I mean, if you play a Premier League team, you just can't play because of the European Union rules and all that good fun stuff. Atletico Madrid, what's going on with them right now in La Liga? Dropping points left and right. Made that a title race when we weren't saying that one was locked up just because of the skill that was there, but they're on pace for over 100 points. That has come crushing to a halt. So now more realistic there. I mean, Chelsea under Tuchel, he has yet to lose a game. So I guess that's one thing he's got going for him there. But other than that, I mean, do you feel any bit of faith in the Chelsea side right now, especially seeing the match that they put out there against Southampton? Maybe Southampton's back against the wall. It's a must gain points. Like, sure, they're not in any relegation battle or not in one yet, but 5 consecutive losses. You had to figure that Water would find its level eventually. But going up against Atletico, especially the way that if Chelsea can't break down Southampton, that's what I'm just saying. How are they expecting to break down the top defense in all of Europe right now, especially if you're looking at goals conceded?
Yeah, I think you hit a spot on where Chelsea have not lost on a Tuchel. That's why I gave out Atletico Madrid last week for plus 160, but I have gotten a little reverse line movement. Atletico Madrid set at plus 170. Obviously, you could shop around. But I do think that the over 2 is a signal that Atletico Madrid is just going to park the bus and Chelsea aren't going to be able to break them down. And it's just simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I pray for anyone who wants to take an over in this game. I think like a halftime draw or something like a under maybe 1 in the first half, hoping for a push. But I just think this game opens up really slow. For me, like I don't have a play on this game, but betting wise, there's so many question marks. Atletico Madrid, so up and down, or has kind of lost their form a little bit, and then Chelsea under Tuchel, we don't have a full picture of that. Do you guys know if Tuchel and Simone have like faced off in Champions League before between PSG and Madrid? Because that'd be a good thing to look at, because I think like Tuchel does have the Champions League experience with PSG, so he does bring that to the table. Kind of looks to that, looks towards the Chelsea side a little bit, but. Yeah, I mean, like Rex made a really good point. If Chelsea struggles to break down Southampton, like good luck to break anything down on a Simone defense. So they're just gonna sit up and just let them attack at will, but not get any shots or chances anywhere.
So it's a decent travel for both of them. This isn't the closest venue that they could have had. So that's one way that I'm looking in. That could smell the recipe, and I think it's the way of that. It's the way of why it's at 2. Just because if you're traveling far, no one really wants to go there to play that match. Get in, get out with points. But I'm pretty sure the reverse leg fixture has to be there as well, unless the European Union can go into England. Not too sure about those rules, but that's where. I mean, I'm more tempted just to play the over here because the both teams to score, I think, is maybe the interesting angle. Even though how much I talked down Chelsea's attack, it's hard to see. I mean, unless this is just a Sevilla Chelsea from group stage all over again, 0-0 boring ass match, I do think we do hit at least a push in the total here.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Just another thing, I mentioned the first half under, first half draw. Take highest scoring half, second half. you think both these teams will just take it real slow and then open up a little bit in the second half. But yeah, it's a plus 120, so good plus price. But both halves the same. It's a 3-way line, so both halves the same, plus 190, and then first half is plus 205. Even do both half the same, 1 goal in each half. Not a bad look, but just another interesting angle there.
All right, probably the match that if Atletico versus Chelsea is the toughest match to cap, this one might be number 2 with Atalanta versus Real Madrid. Boys, if you can tell me anything of what you think you can see from this one, because this one just has my brain completely puzzled, because you got Real Madrid at plus 196, Atalanta at plus 130, which, I mean, when this draw was announced in December, I'm pretty sure these lines were completely reversed. So a lot of money has came in on Atalanta. And maybe that's because no team in La Liga presses like Atalanta or like a Red Bull Leipzig does. Atalanta, they're able to catch, they call it Atletico Madrid in one of the group stage games and got, I think, 2 up on them. So that's where could we see another one come out here where teams not used to the style. Madrid, they're back into La Liga competition. There's no way their eyes are on there just because they love competing in the Champions League and getting deep. They just have too many injuries right now where they're a team that's 100% going to feel the effect of the rotation or not rotating depending on which match it hits them. And it's going to be a complete crapshoot to determine which one it is. But no Benzema. That's the biggest piece is if he's not in that lineup, can't say he's the whole Madrid team because they do have the depth compared to much other clubs, but he's a key piece where he is worth line movement of at least 20 to 30 cents on there. So I do feel like it's went there. All value on Atalanta's completely out the door right now at plus 130. I cannot advise on that, even though they're the home side and how much I do enjoy watching them. I cannot advise on a plus 130 play there.
Yeah, I think missing out on Benzema is going to be huge for Madrid. When he's not in the lineup, they don't look anything like they should. But it's always hard to go against Madrid. All the experience, 3-time champs, whatever you want to say. This is an absolute no play for me.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't even mention. I was thinking about him the whole time Rex was talking. I forgot his name, Sergio Ramos. He's not playing either, and he's like their focal point of the defense. Yeah, I mean, I want to back Atalanta so bad here, but like Rex said, there's no value. Want to back goals here, but who knows what we get from either side attacking. Maybe both of them try to like end it, or both of them. If this may be a game, second leg, I'm going to look to take over, depending on how this first leg goes, because I think second leg, both of them will have that thought or that desire to advance, obviously, but the motivation or like the attitude of scoring as much as I can, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think the second leg will definitely be a more open game depending on how this first one plays. So yeah, again, similar to Atletico and Chelsea, but so many question marks, hard to make any sort of pick on this.
So this is where I do think there's a decent angle on this, and I have to find it because it is a first half angle, which always makes it even more interesting. But Atalanta over half a goal minus 115. If I had to force a play or get a play in this match, that would be the way I go, just because, yes, you're going to have the rotation. Yes, Madrid still has the talent. They still have the depth, but it's just that thing where once you see the counterattacking when you're not used to it, you could slip up easier. So I think Atalanta to score in the first half would be your best angle. I just don't like that it's minus money. If it wasn't minus money, I'd probably be all over it, but that would be my favorite angle in this match.
What's them to like win the first half or like pick them for a first half?
The win the first half is I'm back in the main markets. Of course, it took me off the first half markets. 195 to win the first half pick is minus 127, and the full game pick is minus 145. So
yeah,
you doubled it essentially and cut it in half. So here, agree with all the guys. I think this is by far the match to watch on Wednesday. Just viewing wise, what's going to happen, implications for the who gets this team up next. I do it because this next match, I think it's not already dead and done with, but City versus Gladbach. Please, Gladbach, just make the second leg interesting. That's all I'm hoping. That's all I'm asking for here because City sits at minus 320 road favorites. I mean, neutral site, sorry. Gladbach's plus 790, plus 800, whatever you want it to be. It's a goal and a half on the Asian handicap, over 3, minus 130. I know Joey B and I both have plays on this game. I mean, Gladbach's manager is already looking to the future because he's already accepted a job somewhere else. So it's just like, it's a shame because this Gladbach team, they just have to sell too many people, and they're just not a team that's willing to invest in and out. They're not at the same money level that Dortmund's at. It's like a great comparison for Atalanta side. And Gladbach, I mean, they were the hot and trendy team last season. I believe they're like right at a Champions League spot this year. They're not groundbreakers or cashing like crazy like they were in the Bundesliga. And I mean, City's probably salty that we're calling Bayern the top team in the world right now because Bayern's got the hardware in the past 3 to 4 months, but you could say City's form right now is no one could touch them. And I don't think Gladbach, no matter what they can do, I hope they just keep it within a goal and it's within screaming range for the second leg. But the Asian handicap is the only way I would look at it, but I got to play on a different side. So total wise, I mean, I think this also goes over, but no strong conviction on that side.
Yeah, and to add to this whole David versus Goliath thing, City are minus 2,000 to qualify for the next round. So I would say books are writing that one off. But I mean, City's defense just looks too good. Rex played City to win 2-0 this past weekend against Arsenal. That would be something I'd look for again in this match if I was to play something on it.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good look. So if I think it's Marcus Thuram. I think that's his name. He's one of Gladbach's like best attackers. He's out, I believe. He picked up an injury this week, so that's a huge miss. But yeah, Rex, I'm not sure you're going to get your wish. But I also am hoping for the same thing because Pep under pressure in the second leg is always fun to watch, always fun to see what he comes out with and tries to mess up with his lineups and tactics and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I would lean even towards the City spread here, minus 1.5, just because I think they're going to look to end this in one leg. They don't want to come out, and obviously they're going to throw out somebody, some team that could probably still compete in the Champions League from their bench, but they have so much rotation. Be interesting to see how they line up tomorrow on Wednesday. But yes, City should dominate Gladbach. Even since announcing Marco Rose, whoever the Rose, what?
Like Ruiz or whatever, something weird.
Yeah. Ever since they announced him going to Dortmund, the team's kind of been not as good. So kind of form has been up and down a little bit. So I don't expect much. Maybe they're trying to give their coach a going away present, but I kind of highly doubt it.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad going away present, but you need some presents to give the people. We got our best bets section coming up for you here. If you tuned in to this past weekend, all three of us ended in the positive. So you got some change to come mess around with some nice Champions League midweek action. Bookie paid you if you tailed all three of us. You had a monster weekend. I went 2-1 for plus 1.84 units. Started off with an L with Chelsea. Knew I shouldn't have laid it. Talked about it the whole time. Still ended up doing it. But Dortmund over 2.5 team total, that cashed with ease. And then City win 2-0. I mean, got a goal in the second minute and then just didn't let Arsenal get anything. It was fun to watch with a win 2-0, but if you had any other bet, it probably was not fun because no one laid a Man City money line unless you're square like that. So I think that was the one angle that it was actually a fun match to watch.
Yeah, like Rex said, a good weekend. I had one play only. West Ham, Tottenham over 2.5. I think the final score is 2-1 West Ham, which we talked about. West Ham being the move for that match. So happy to win the official bet and the lean as well.
Yeah, I gave you some credit in our chat over the weekend too. I think in the show you said West Ham 2-1. I think it ended 2-1. You also said Wolves 1-0 or 2-0 win, and they won 1-0. So you got 2 correct score bets in there. Just add it to your record. No one will notice. For me, I was 2-1. I had Wolves draw no bet against Leeds. That was -124. I had the over in the Milan derby with Inter and AC Milan. Unfortunately, AC was held to a shutout, so I only got 3 goals, half W. And then Cologne, Stuttgart. Stuttgart got the win. My team, I should have backed them in a different way, but it took the over in that game. They only scored 1 goal. But yeah, I'll take the 2-1 plus 0.4 units over the weekend.
All right, so let's get into some Champions League because they didn't tell us. They didn't care what happened this past weekend, but Line Breakers FC continues to be a train, should be tailing these bets. So let's stick into the match you're just with. And the reason why I'm not playing a side, the reason why I'm not playing a total in City Gladbach, if for a full game is, I don't do first half bets very frequently on this show. I think I might have only had 1 or 2 throughout the history. I'm going to go with the City first half team total over 1 at plus 114. I think this is a push at worst. So we saw it with Arsenal. I mean, if we get another second-minute goal, I'd be happy as a clam at back-to-back weekends or back-to-back matches, but I doubt that happens where I think City, they just want to try to get up and put in the same exact tactic, same exact strategy that worked against Arsenal when you're going up, not against the same tactical side, but it hurts me to say Arsenal's probably in a better form than Gladbach is right now. It really does, but they are. So that's just where they get one, put in cruise control mode. Hopefully they pick up the second early and then just kills everyone's overs. But if you're going to give me the City angle, I can get a push if they score a goal in the half. It's worked more often than not, especially in the first half this season.
Yeah, I mean, solid play. Joey talked about how he just wants to get one to bed early. And yeah, hopefully goals in that one. First play for me, I gave out last Monday, sticking with it. Atletico Madrid, I got plus 160. It sits at plus 170 now. I mean, like we talked about, Chelsea is going to struggle to go against this Atletico Madrid defense. Atletico Madrid is a very solid side, just a rough run of form. So I do think the reverse line movement presents more value. So yeah, I'm still happy with it.
It's only 10 cents. It's not the end of the world. If you're really that worried about it, you could easily find your way out of it. But more often than not, especially in the soccer gambling this year and since COVID, if you're on the opposite side of the reverse line movement, it's almost worked more often than it hasn't this year because you get the public hammering it, you get them moving the price. It's not moving because there's sharp money or because people are being out. You're just getting the name recognition of people haven't watched Atletico Madrid. And I do have a play on this one as well. And they're going to really regret if they have that Chelsea ticket.
For me, my first play, I'm jumping to the Bayern Lazio game. I took both teams to score in over 2.5 minus 125. I just think we see goals in this game. I said I wanted to take Bayern in both teams to score at plus 185, but I'd take a little safer route here. Either way, I could see this game ending 2-2, 2-1 to either side. So both those would help me cash. But yeah, I just see goals in this fixture. Both legs should be fairly high scoring. But yeah, just give me both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. I don't care who wins. I don't care who scores the goals. Just want to see some action.
Ooh. You think Bayern concedes? I almost like Bayern and over 2.5 more, just because. I mean, Lazio, yeah, I think it's more focused on 3 guys to get a goal for Lazio. They're more reliant on individual talent than they are with team. So that's where I kind of like it because maybe it's just the plus money because that always makes my eyes light up. But I would be going the other way. But hopefully we do get the teams to score in over 2.5 here. All right, so AJ, since I liked the play last week, I still like the play today. You got the cojones and took the money line. I'm just taking Atletico Madrid on the pick at minus 108. We said it in the match preview where if you can only get one against Southampton and just literally generate zero legitimate attack, they brought in Hudson-Odoi for, 13 minutes and then subbed them out instantly because Tuchel didn't like the way he was running in his attempt, but he was the guy who created the penalty kick from the through pass. I mean, yeah, Chelsea's getting results. They're getting points. I'm not saying it's just because the Premier League's weak. It's just, yeah, Atletico Madrid's on not the best form. But if you're going to give me a team that's conceded less than 20 goals so far this season, if Suarez is on, he can bag to himself in this match against that Chelsea defense. So you're giving me the pick at -108. I have to take it.
Yeah, and just to continue to add on, Chelsea are in this weird sandwich spot where they lost to Southampton. Now they have to travel for a Champions League game and then return back to England to face United on Sunday. So rotations, form, motivation, mental.
They're playing for the draw. Chelsea will be 100% playing for the point in this match.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could see Chelsea just trying to survive this fixture as long as they can. The longer they're in it, the better. But yeah, we've said my only fear here is a draw, but I think the pick'em's a good way to go. But value is money line, so whatever kind of better you want to be for this game, you got some good options. But yeah, it's hard to back a Chelsea money line in any way here.
And it's weird because usually I'd be the one taking the pick'em and Rex would be taking the money line, but
let's hope for the best here since we do have a reverse.
Here we are. But my last play is a correlated play with Joey B. I have Lazio Bayern over 3 -130. I do think Lazio gets on the board. I think we see 3 goals worst as a push here. Bayern's defense has been a little susceptible in the Bundesliga. But I guess on the opposite side of that is how hard are you really trying against Bielefeld and Schalke, whatever it may be. This is the Champions League. We know what team and quality side they are, but I do like goals in this one.
Yeah, I mean, good point. I do think this is a lot about Bayern's mindset going into this one, because if they want to keep a shutout, they will. But I think with Immobile up there, hopefully he plays. Hopefully he can get like a full 90 minutes. And I just think he's going to be the factor up top. And Bayern's defense and the players they have, it's always up in the air, but I could just see them conceding one here or there. But yeah, my second play, I'm taking Man City halftime, full time, -110. I just think they get out on the correct foot here. I know, Rex, you gave out your second play. So I just think they get a goal in the first half and then just hold that lead. It could give me a second-minute goal like we saw with Arsenal. But I just think they dominate this game start to finish. They don't make any no questions about it or anything. So I just think at -110, good price. And then at the end, I'm not worrying about whether they're holding a 2-goal lead or not. Because I did think the -1.5 is a good price or a good bet here too. But I do think they get off to a good start and hold that form the whole game. And then all I need is one early goal and for them to not give up that lead.
Yeah, we got correlated plays all across the board from all 3 of us this week. So it's not like the Sevilla 3-unit whale lock like we had before. We're just picking different ways to back the side. So let's recap our picks real quick before we sign off. I got City first half, team total over 1 at +114. And then I'm going with the Atletico Madrid pick at -108.
Perfect. I have Atletico Madrid +160 on the money line. Lazio Bayern over 3 -130.
Yeah, I got Bayern and Lazio, both teams are scoring over 2.5, and then City halftime, full time. I feel like we're going to go 0-6 as a show, or 6-0. Can it be one or the other? I also love that it sounds like AJ's at a racetrack. With that car zooming back and forth, it sounds.
It was the garbage man. I tried muting it, but I guess I didn't do it right.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yep, and we shall be back Thursday for our domestic league slate. We're right in the heart. We're coming down to the final 10 to 15 matches across Europe. So it's about to get hot and spicy before – I don't know how big they are into Euro, But man, AR Soccer Show is looking like it's going to head to an MLS Euro summer. It's going to be a great time. We'll have the Olympics as well. We will find content. We will find betting lines for you guys. Don't you worry. The AR Soccer Show's the Line Breakers FC, formerly the artist formerly as the AR Soccer Show, will be here. You can follow me on Twitter at @reast_easy, right below my head. AJ, they can follow you at _VADUKAL.
Oh,
You.
it's UL.
UL.
So close.
Fuck.
Oh,
Next
But-
week will be the episode I get it right. Third time's the charm.
yeah. But speaking of hot and spicy, if you followed us last week, I talked about pho and it was so bomb. Joey B, what are you having for dinner tonight?
I got a blue no free ads, but I got a Blue Apron a meal. I think it's turkey meatballs and something. So it's gonna be freaking good.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter _ Joey B23. Any soccer takes, any Wolves opinions, you can find them there.
Bubble time for you too. About to get sweaty season for you on the
Yeah.
bubble.
Oof.
AJ,
Oof.
Pac-12 doesn't deserve more than one bid, but they'll probably get them, so your team will be fine regardless. But got a lot of basketball streams coming up Thursday, domestic league slate. The breakdown's going to be rolling, so make sure you follow us at BRKDWN_sports, and we'll see you Thursday.